High engagement doesn't necessarily equal high intent, and growth comes from the intent.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Growth Media Marketing Series. Today, we're going to talk about, is posting on Facebook a waste of time? Okay, Tony, so I'm going to say what every business owner watching is thinking. Posting works. I post, people like it, they comment, sometimes they even share it. So, how can you sit here and say that posting isn't a growth strategy?
Listen, I didn't say posting doesn't work. I said it doesn't scale, and that's a totally different conversation.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, go for it.
If I get 80 comments on a post, I mean, that means it's
Uh-huh.
working. People care. They're commenting.
Yeah. Listen, it means people you already know care. That's not the same as new buyers. So let me ask you something. How many of those 80 people are actively looking to hire you right now?
I mean, my mom's not planning on hiring me, neither are
No,
my
she's not. How
siblings.
about your cousin or sister?
So probably not many of those people.
Yeah, exactly. It's unfortunate, but yeah, exactly. So high engagement doesn't necessarily equal high intent, and growth comes from the intent, right? So that's the problem.
What about when someone posts so I posted a picture of my family, me and my husband bantering, and it blew up.
Yeah.
I mean, I posted a video of me cooking with my kid, and it blew up. I got so much engagement. So it works. It has to work.
Well, so it works emotionally, right? The other thing it does is actually will build some trust and likability. But again, it works because people already know you. So that's retention and visibility, but it's not acquisition visibility. Two different things. So, what you're doing is you're talking to people that already know you in your circle, right? So that's the problem because these people already know you, they follow you. Again, unless they're looking to buy, right? You got to get outside of your circle to try to attract those new buyers.
So you're telling me that those people that are engaging are not going to buy from me. So it
No,
really isn't helping my business.
you got it. Now, here's the thing. It reminds people, right, that you still might be, you're in landscaping, right? Or whatever business you may be, right? You're plumbing, what electrical, right? All those things. It keeps you top of mind for the people that kind of already know you, right? But over time, what happens is those people don't need your services. So again, the whole idea is you're trying to scale your business, right? And you're trying to attract new people in your business. And the only way to do that is to get out of goal.
But if engagement is high, then that means that the algorithm is pushing it forward, right? So it doesn't it reach new people by all these people engaging and interacting?
Sometimes, but it is unpredictable. All right? If you rely on the algorithm alone, that that isn't a growth strategy. Basically, you're hoping, you're praying that the algorithm will magically take your post and throwing it out there. If you want growth to be predictable, does require predictable distribution of your content. And that's the problem that most people, don't see and they're dealing with. So
Mm.
unfortunately, right? That's the truth.
So you're telling me if it's not growth, then what good is posting anyway?
Well, here's the thing. So, basically retention, you know what I mean? If somebody comes across your Facebook page or, whatever, and you haven't posted in 2 years, are you still even around? Because again, people are looking for, does this person have a website? Do they have reviews? Like all the things again, because again, they have to trust you, right? People buy from people they trust. Also, authority, especially if you're posting videos or content that is teaching people, how to do things and stuff like that. And you're like the expert in your area, that helps there. And the other thing is just staying top of mind because again, these people are not seeing you all the time, so they forget that. Oh, Tony and Nicole are in marketing. I didn't know. I forgot. Oh boy, you know what I mean. So as they're traveling through their journeys, and someone asks, "Hey, do you know anyone that does this?" At least if you're constantly top of mind to the people we know, you might get a referral. So that's which will lead us into the next section. But yes.
So you said referrals. So like what about referrals, especially if I have my friends and family tagging people in the comments?
Oh man, referrals are awesome, right?
Mhm.
Our DJ business was built on referrals. Like, people for some reason love us, Carlos and I and our team, and
Wonder why.
we're getting a ton. But the problem is they're inconsistent. And you can't build a scalable business on hoping that someone tags you or
Mhm.
tags their friend, on a post and things like that. Over the years, what we did was referrals were more like a bonus. You know what I mean? When we get one, it's like, oh my God, it's cool. But we don't rely on that as like our growth engine. So yeah, I mean, again, I'll take them, right? But for what we're talking about is scalability and growing your company. And that's why I keep referring to that, because at the end of the day, that's the ultimate goal for any business, right? To continue and to grow and to scale, right?
And I wanna grow my company, and I thought posting could do that because, like, realistically, I don't have money for ads. I just don't.
Yeah, so then they need patience. All right. Listen, organic can work, okay? But it's very slow
Mm,
and it's very inconsistent. Okay. Basically what you're doing is you're trading money, for your time, right? And what most business owners do is they underestimate how long that runway is. And if you're a newer business, what are some of the statistics that you see out there? Most businesses don't last 2 to 3 years. Part of that is because they didn't put enough money up front or away, as example, the budget. Like, hey, how do I get the word out? Right. You know what I mean? It's marketing. It's, if you have a business and no one knows you exist, how do you get the word out? You knock on doors, right? The old school was, again, this is time, right? You knock on doors, you go to network meetings, you talk to people, right? It's a lot of work. Or you market and you get the word out there. It's just a much longer road. It's a tough road traveled, but yeah.
you talked about the awareness, so how do I get that visibility? Like, what do I do to get that growth and those eyes on? So talk
Yeah.
to me about the types of visibility.
So that's an awesome question. There's three. Okay. Number one, you're going to talk about retention visibility. So what retention visibility is, these are the people that already know you, your friends, your family.
The customers that are in my circle.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's number one. The second type is referral visibility. People sharing your content, right? So people see something that you do and they're like, oh, my friend Mary can really use this, or let me share that with her because she was talking about that. And I think this is very helpful. The other one is acquisition visibility, the last one, right? So these are the people that you don't know yet. Okay. And the key is how do you get to those people? The problem is organic posting mostly handles the retention part. Growth actually requires a third one, which is acquisition. And acquisition requires targeting. You target your audiences and the people you want to go after, right? You decide, hey, what's the perfect customer for me? You know what I mean? You go market to those people, right? So this way, the people that are coming in through your funnel are all the people that actually you want to work with, because that's your avatar. If you're familiar with those words.
If organic posting is mostly just retention, like you're saying, are you telling me to stop posting?
Give up. Yeah. Close your computer. You're done. No, no,
Maybe
no,
there's
no,
my
please don't do that. No, 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 absolutely not. That's not the goal. Posting is powerful, right? But what you got to stop doing is confusing posting with growth. Okay. Posting, again, talks to people that are already in your room. Advertising invites new people into your room. So that's the main difference. And that's what you really, really want to make sure you understand. Okay.
You're telling me to keep posting because there's retention. So if I
Yeah.
want new eyes on, then I should boost my post. That's advertising, right?
Well, so okay, boosting, right, is very surface level, like very surface level advertising. So basically, what you're doing is you're talking about content that wasn't designed to convert and putting money behind it. So what what real ads do, okay, they require structure. What does that look like? It's who's your audience. You can, when you run a real ad, you're going to target. You're able to do that. What's your offer? Like, why should people even consider scheduling a console or inviting you for an estimate? Okay. It's got to be creative. You can't do the same thing everyone else is doing, because why are you different? It requires a funnel, right? If you're hitting the right audience and you've got a great offer, they they submit a form. there's got to be a funnel of they submit a form, they now get a response that leads to an appointment maybe, or right, a visit. It's full circle. You got to track. So many people don't track. And tracking is basic, right? So if I spend X and I get X visits, how many people fill out the form? How many people actually set up an appointment? How many people came to a meeting? How many no shows and how many people actually booked? And that's the problem with boosting. It kind of skips all those things. Over the years, Facebook has done, you can target now a little bit when you boost a post, but really the only way that, again, if you want total control, you gotta do it on the backside. So if you're gonna spend money wisely. So yeah, take the time and really set up your ad properly.
I think I'm starting to catch on a little bit. So tell me then what actually drives growth?
Okay. Pretty simple. Three things. You have a clear offer,
Okay.
you have controlled traffic. So, because you're tracking and you're doing all these things, you know exactly how much traffic you're getting to your website, or, impressions in your ads and all these other things. And then you have a conversion system, okay, to take people through your funnel, that whole process. Okay. If any of those are missing, then growth stalls. Again, examples. So I keep referring back to the DJ business, right? Just because back in the day, we did everything without a system, meaning, people call, we try to call back, respond, like all these other things. It wasn't until we had a full circle 360, system in place that things really starting to scale and take off. More importantly, it became so much easier for us to be organized. We were servicing the customer better because there were automated emails and touch points like along the way. The reason why we know that these things work is because when we happen to be at for us, bridal shows or things like that, for the marketing company, as an example, trade shows, okay, is when you're talking to those couples, they would say, out of all the companies that we've reached out to, or even sometimes, venues and other things, you guys were the only ones that were prompt, gave us information when we're supposed to. And, it goes a long way when someone's making an investment in what you're doing. So, that's why it's important, because you can have the best offer, you can get a ton of traffic, but if you don't follow up, do all the things that are necessary, set reminders for your appointments, all these things, just money spent, money wasted.
To recap, it's a clear offer, controlled traffic, and a conversion system. That's what I need to drive growth.
Yes.
But posting feels so productive.
Yeah. Of course it is. I mean, listen, we all like to have our little checklist, I love it because I feel productive. But honestly, it's a trap. It feels productive, it looks productive, but marketing isn't about feelings. Honestly, it's about math. It really is. That's the cool thing about that, because it takes all the emotion away. You know what I mean? When you're emotional, when you're sad, you eat. Well, at least I do. Love ice, right? Whatever. When you're excited about, trying to buy something, you just go buy it. Emotions, you get excited, right? Especially if the person that's selling you something, or it's like telling all these great things, like, oh my God, I got it. But what puts you, brings you back to center is the math, because now you have to make decisions based on logic. That's the nice thing about this whole thing. It's the math, it's the numbers, it's the logic, right? And you can consistently sit there and say, hey, I spent this and I got this. And so what this means is, if I spend more, my traffic should increase, my leads should increase, like all these other things. And it's a lot easier to decide, like, hey, yep, turn the faucet on even more. Or hey, let's back off the faucet. Maybe things are not working as well. So we need to look at things different.
So break down the math. When you're saying the math, you're probably talking like analytics and all these fancy numbers. So break that down for me.
Let's let money, right? So, all right, cool. So here's an example. So if it costs you $40, as an example, to generate a lead, Okay. And you end up closing 1 out of 5 because you're a horrible, you're horrible at presenting your business. I don't know, whatever.
You're new, you're
Yeah,
not
fine. All right,
sure.
be nice. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm being horrible right now. And let's just say your average sale is 3,000, right? That's predictable. So because it's predictable, it's scalable. I think that's all we're trying to say. Like when you do something organically, it doesn't give you that predictability like over time. That's the difference. You know what I mean? And it's pretty easy, right? If you sit there like, oh, okay, $40 a lead, you got 5, it costs you $200 to generate those 5 leads and you only closed 1, right? And if that's all you did over and over and over and over again, like how much different might your business look? All right, if I'm doing that. What if I spend more? Right? It's not an exact thing, but it's pretty close where you can kind of do that once you get the system down. And then because you know the numbers, what can you do now too? Well, let me improve my sales process because I can either spend more or I can get better at me presenting. And what if you do two?
Mhm.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's the system part that people don't understand. For the most part, when I talk to a lot of business owners, I think at least the people that we have dealt with, they do really well when it comes to the close.
Yeah.
Right. Especially people that have been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? If you're new, it's a little
That's
harder.
not the
Right.
issue. Yeah.
I'll give you another example with the DJ company before COVID. We used to meet in person all the time. We would meet with 10 people. You get 9 out of 10 people close. Awesome. Great. We're superstars, rock stars. COVID hit. Everybody wanted to do Zoom.
Mhm.
And in the beginning, it was like 60%. It's like, holy shit. Like, did we do something different? What we had to do was change how we presented it because when you're on camera, as an example, right? And that's what I mean. As a business, you're always adapting, you're always learning. It took us a little bit, but we're now back to the same closing rates because we did different things to present the same way we did in thing. But the whole idea is like you got to be in front of somebody, right? That's the problem. That's what people want. That's what these systems do is they put more people in front of you. They have more eyes on you. They see more of your videos. They see more of your content. They start to see who you are. And now you have more opportunities to talk to these people and do more for them and help them out and all these awesome things.
That's
Yeah.
good. You didn't just blame COVID, on all the problems. You looked at the numbers and said, this was our closing rate
Eh,
before this. Here's the
exactly.
numbers of what we're seeing now. And the only thing that's changed is now we're not in person. So, based on the numbers, there's the issue.
That's right.
We have to look at adjusting this. And when you have those numbers, you can do that versus flying blind and going,
Yeah.
well, I boosted a post and I got 3 responses and no one booked. Like, clearly something's wrong with boosting
Yeah.
and the algorithm. Having the numbers is what guided you to that place. So,
Yeah.
give me a
You know, you
real
know,
world example. Oh, sorry.
no, no, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So as a contractor, posting job photos and basically, he's getting engagement from his friends. Hey, he's a hero, right? But then when we run Google ads for like, as an example, bathroom remodel near me. Okay. When buyers type that keyword, okay, what's going to happen is we show up front, right? These are people that are ready to spend because if they're doing things near me, that means that their intent is higher.
Yeah.
So that's visibility. So that's the real world example as far as like, you spend the money for somebody that is typing specific keywords. And you do research and stuff like that because you know that these people that are typing these keywords are people that are looking for something right now.
Mhm.
And that's acquisition visibility. You need to be out there. That's what Google Ads does for you, right away.
Yeah. Versus interrupting the scroll, which is
Right. You got it. Absolutely.
alternative.
Right. So when you develop a great system, what happens is, as an example, you run those ads, right? Bathroom remodel their rate. Cool. That's somebody that is up at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever happens to be. They're looking to remodel the bathroom. When you use Facebook and Instagram, and now I'm sure we've all been to websites to look for shoes or whatever happens to be, and then all of a sudden, long and below, you're on Facebook, and then it shows you all the same pair of shoes or whatever happens to be. That's called retargeting, and all it's doing is it's staying top of mind to that person that already is looking for that. And what is that retargeting doing? Right? They kind of work together. It's showing them reviews This is so and so from whatever that you did an amazing. Oh my God, love my bathroom. Everyone compliments my bathroom. Thank you so much, Mr. Bathroom Remodeler. You're the best. You're showing before and afters. And then what are you doing? We talked about, see, for us, the statistics keep us grounded, but what is it doing emotionally to the people that are seeing all those amazing things that they're like, oh my God, this guy's so cool. We need to hire this person. I want my bathroom to look that way. That's what it's doing for the person. And that's all it's doing. It's following that person. That's why it's just a system. People come to us all the time from other companies and, and things like that. And, I hired this, I spent this. It's because they only did a piece of it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that, doing a piece of it doesn't work, but it just doesn't work effectively. You know what I mean? I know if I'm trying to lose weight, I have to cut out food. But if I want it fully for me to lose weight and whatever, I go to the gym and I work out and you do it like if you do everything, right? It's just going to get you better results. I think that's when things don't work for people and stuff like that and they get frustrated, it's because they don't have, I don't have a ton of money. That's fair, right? But there's things you could do. Like I said, it's a strategy. And that's what we try to do is come up with different strategies for people based on your situation.
Yeah.
Right. When I didn't have any money, my strategy was go knock on doors. You know what I mean? And then that worked. It was a lot of work, but it worked. So there's different strategies for different people depending on where you are in your journey.
And we don't suggest you do it all at once. Like, you don't turn on
No, no,
the
no, 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 no,
working
no,
out and go,
no.
you don't go to the gym and hit the 200 pounds right away. This is a slow build. So bottom line for today, is
Mhm.
posting a waste of time?
All right, I'll be nice. No. Here's what I'm going to say. It's incomplete. So, listen, post for trust, pay for reach, track for growth.
Well said.
And there you have it.
There you have it. If you've enjoyed this style of video from us, this playful, real life questions that we get from a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
And so this is very common questions that we get. And we wanted to kind
Yep.
of make this fun and lighthearted. But we
Yeah.
hope you've learned something. Drop a comment below on your favorite part. If you'd like more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to
Yep.
our channel. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget, like, if you have any questions or anything like that, reach out to us, go on our website. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.